And I think Volty is an amazing Carbon Roller player and could do a ton when we go to a stronger map. Could definitely like kind of turn this series around with just kind of pure firepower.
Volty, if you happen to have any picks that are not Carbon Roller, this would be the map to bring him out on.
Yes. Yes.
Carbon Roller is just...
Man.
So the TLDR version of Camp Triggerfish, right, is most often you're going to be engaged in 2v2s and not in 4v4s. So anytime that you can try to provide a little bit more assistance to the other side of the map, it's probably a good thing. Carbon Roller can maybe throw the auto bomb rush onto the other side of the map.
Man, the worst special in the game. It's literally the worst special. All right, we do, however, say I like this pick from Domo. Domo is going to be on the 10 umbrella. I've not seen him play this map much before, but it does make sense on this map. I don't think, as a 10 player myself, it's not hard to play on this map in particular. I don't think it's hard to play in general, especially here. You just put your big shield down the straight line, and you help your carbon walk forwards. It's going to be useful. And yeah, we do still see Nigel playing on the L3, one of his kind of more niche picks coming out here, and no armor, which I like to see. It is going to be initial pick going over to the side of Nylon's team, and they will start capping the zones. And yeah, that's going to be the first cap actually going over to the Nylon pickup. Dura doesn't hit shots.
Was that the 10 umbrella shots, or was that the inkjet coming in from the L3? I actually don't know.
Inkjet.
That was the inkjet? Okay. Again, I'm watching the overhead because so yeah, that was well played there. And kind of interesting, you can see exactly how either team initially got their opponent's zone, technically.
Yeah.
I think they were just able to be covered from a distance here. Also, kind of curious to see Jared here on the CDS pick. I feel like there's not a ton of room to move around on Camp Triggerfish, so probably opting for the CDS more for the range as opposed to the mobility. Now going to get collapsed around here. And again, I think this Dura pickup is actually doing the Dura pickup that actually doesn't have Dura playing right now. Is doing a good job of maintaining their presence around the zone and actually capping things. You'll notice how they're trading ink onto the other side of the map and things like that to kind of shut some of these pushes down. So good stuff from them.
Big punish coming out as Lionel gets taken out, and that is going to be key to my heart. Now, moving forward onto the enemy zone, it is going to be Mika trying to paint this up, but the Inca Mine's going to put a lot of pressure and damage. The armor is popped, so Mika won't get taken out, and more mines. Mine are actually very good on this zone situations, where you can just do that sort of thing. You spam the chip damage, you get them marked, you get paint out. It is useful to kind of slow people down, but this is still going to be an even situation because they can't paint the other zone. The 10 there is just being a massive nuisance, and that's why 10 is insane on this map. You put down the beacons, you allow your team to come back and back and back and back. You just put a big shield down the street, and it's really, really hard to push onto it, especially if you've got a carbon shotgun on the wall. Actually, that is a strength fit on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with this kind of a situation, these are the sorts of times where we start to get worried about a lockout situation here. Looks like it is going to be given up in the favor of that ink armor that was coming in from Key to My Love there. And they're able to push back through here, looking for a little bit of a lockout on their own. That ink storm was popped very far down in street. 2-10 situation now actually for this green side, and now Key to My Love is going to have their opportunity here for a little bit more of a push. Looks like one was able to get taken down here. Mika's going to get collapsed around the zone, and so now even though they had an opportunity, they're going to lose it based off of losing one of the 2v2s on one of the sides of the map.
This is going to be a big flank coming out right now from Jared. Does Domo know he's there? Don't know, but Domo gets taken out either way. Oh, it will be a trade. Very nice shot from Domo. Will actually get the one shot and stop that flank from coming through. It will allow the Dura hit shots to keep control, but that's not going to happen. We do see Mika and Key just walking forwards onto zone where the only defense is the Elita. That will be a cap coming through, and that, will be where they need to start getting control here. I feel like control is very, very important for the Key to My Heart team, and, considering they have two, very, very, very long-range weapons, but as soon as they get the control, I think this could be a lockout that we're watching right here, unless they're able to fight something big, but it's only one.
Was able to find one, so, again, and now with the 3-net situation, this green sky is going to have to reset entirely here, right? And so originally I was skeptical of Key to My Love's ability in order to hold this lockout position just because there was so much time left, but it looks like they might be able to do that. Actually, enough green inks is going to go into the zone 2-10 situation here as Mika's trying to find the last few here. That bomb rush comes out as well, but it is going to be in the lead, goes in favor of Key to My Love here. 2-10 situation once again, and this very well could be the knockout right here.
Yeah, very well could be. Mika right now is going to be shocking on this zone. They do want to just paint over it. They actually have just everyone pushed up on their zone. They could go left and just take it, but it doesn't look like they have time. And yeah, that's going to be it. Most likely, unless a miracle happens, that's going to be Key to My Love taking the first game. And yeah, I think that was really well played. It their comp on that map, I think, kind of in relation to the CDS you were talking about, I think it does much better when you get the control, because you can be a nuisance more in their street, you can push up there, you can take abuse of your range, you can be a nuisance on the left side of the map, kind of from their perspective, and I think you can kind of get a lot done there. Pushing in with the CDS and Pro becomes a lot harder, especially with the 10 and Carbon just sitting on zone, so we did see that lockout come through as soon as they took control. I think it makes a lot of sense when you look at the comps, and we'll maybe see some other things. I would say we'll see how that plays out through the series, but Camp Triggerfish is just not like any other map in the game.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And I feel like, even if I'm actually curious, like going back to what we were talking about with Sonder versus In Control, I imagine In Control also would have struggled quite a bit on that map, right?
Yeah.
Like as given like doing something like a Carbon Knot, the Knot probably would be able to find a lot more value, but the Carbon Roller would largely be useless. Sure, it's going to be able to get a trade here or there, but it's not going to be able to like really run around the map, really be able to manipulate things, and really translate into a lot of high level stuff and positive stuff for the rest of the team.
I will say they could definitely play similarly to how Dura hit shots played, as in they send the 10 and the Carbon together. I would almost certainly think that Shinex would ditch the Junior and go to 10 there. Not only do I think that 10 is so strong there, I also think that Armor and Junior are weaker on that map, because Armor can just kind of be shred from 90 million years away when everyone's playing a million long-range weapons, and it's kind of straight lines. It's still good, but it's weak. It's still very good. It's still Armor, but it's not like Armor is in general. And also, Junior just does nothing on the map. Junior is really bad there. So I almost certainly think we would have seen the 10 if Shinex played here.
Hey, Matt.
What?
You know what isn't like any other map in the game?
What?
Kelp Dome, which is where we're going next.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it, but talking about having terrible maps come up when we have great gameplay coming through, Camp Triggerfish followed by Kelp Dome is what you get today. So,
hey, at least I don't have to deal with Clam Blitz on auto spec, all right? At least I don't have to deal with Clam Blitz. So we'll see exactly. I imagine Volchi's going to be able to put in a little bit more work on that Carbon Roller. Probably going to be able to find a couple more 2-for-1 situations as opposed to just trading 1-for-1. So we'll have to see exactly how that continues to play out. Jared, though, opening with this massive flank, trying to apply pressure here, and already hopping onto the Stingray, is able to get that taken down. With the 2-down situation, it looks like the yellow side right now is going to have strong map presence to kick things off.
Yeah, Key to My Heart actually gets the initial control right now, and they're going to be building up an armor to defend this. Not only an armor, but every single special in the game right now, they actually have that ready. BR Bombs popped quickly, and so is Cloud. They now have their second Cloud and armor ready to try and take this advantage of it. Mika communicating, sending their armor off to the other side of the map. I really wish we could be watching the other side of the map when the fight happens, but that's how it goes. But Mika getting a nice push on the drop down will potentially allow Key to the Heart to carry on in control if anyone is able to come back forwards, and especially with the Zeros getting that pick, this could keep control of Key to My Heart here.
So I was watching that on overhead the entire time, and those two players being, I think that's Jared and E, right? They just kind of were walking into the Inkstorm, the blue Inkstorm. And so they had no map control around them. They weren't able to run around and weren't able to escape. They were just around.
There is no blue Inkstorm. Do you have color lock on?
Okay. No, I don't. Okay. I have no idea what I'm thinking. I have no idea what I'm thinking. All I know is that there was a lot of blue ink in the area. Look, I don't have photographic memory, okay? I'm not trying to pay attention to that. But by the way, they still haven't capped the zone yet. Finally, they're able to cap the zone after, like, loads more fighting. And so we'll see if they can hold this blackout position, but then again, they're not really in the strongest position. They're not going for these sorts of high-risk plays here. Volti goes right into 3 members. It's taken down here, and then the Ink Armor comes out of this blue side. Double Cloud goes thrown onto the zone here. It's going to allow the other side to come back in here, and it looks like they might be able to find the cap. The Bio Bomb's not going to be able to paint as well as you would expect it to. With the threatened situation, actually, this is going to be the hold here, coming in for the Dura pickup.
Really, really nice hold on Dura hit shots. They have the armor, because, I guess Gates didn't use the Stingray there, because of course you wouldn't use Stingray, you need to carry on painting. Now they have this defense situation. That's going to be very, very, very useful. The armor and Cloud are ready on the side of Key to My Heart, which will mean they have that ready to start pushing forwards, but it's the only 2 specials they have, actually, and they need to push right now. The Stingray's going to be able to shut it down. Volti on the drop down is going to be able to put in a lot of work, and this is looking like it's going to be the lockdown for Dura hit shots, but we'll have to see right now as this team fight's finally being engaged. 2 members do go down, and the zone is neutralized, so it will be the flip for Key to My Heart eventually, unless a miracle happens, but now it's looking scary.
That was looking scary, and it was good, a good effort there for the last two members alive for that blue side, but Key to My Love is going to be able to come back in there. Again, a 4v2 situation is just almost impossible to overcome. So good use of that, able to, again, work with that Inkstorm in order to get the paint on the zone. A lot of what we've been seeing so far, I feel like, has been built around Inkstorm. Don't talk about this much. We don't really see much of. Jared going to go down, though, again, deep in enemy territory here. The Booyah Bomb going to come on through. And so now the front line is going to start to move forward for the Dura hit shots to pick up, but they're not quite able to really get much value off of that with a 3-down situation. Going to be Key to My Love holding onto the zone. They might be able to get the lead, and if not, the knockout.
That was really well played by Key to My Love, making sure to give them the space so they can just walk backward, then walk back on them and take them out. It's going to be a last-ditch push right here, and they have no specials with it. They're just dropping down into bullets, so of course they're going to get taken out, and that is going to be the lockout from Key to My Love, 2-0 up in this best-of-5 series, and it's looking like it's going to be match point, and I think right now Key to My Love really want a different map pick. I mean, that one wasn't too bad for them, but, you know, they've not been fun maps.
They really haven't. I think, especially, I mean, I'm going to go back to Carbon Ruler because that's just one of the more polarizing things here, I think, in both of these compositions. I think it is, Carbon Ruler especially, is built on having good map awareness, is built on having good map memory, and like having a lot of those muscle memory things of just being able to, okay, I can hide here around this barrier, I can pop out, I can get a couple shots, I can go back to that barrier, dodge a shot or two, and come back in, or something like that, right? I think when you're playing on a lot of these maps that you don't play that often, right? Like even in scrims, I don't really know how many teams were actually practicing zones only specifically for this tournament. But I imagine like Kelp Dome didn't come up that often, right? Or things like Port Mackerel, you know, some of these maps you're not going to see that often. And so I think with a little bit less map awareness, Volti is going to be less effective in general, even if it's more of an open map where you expect that Carbon to be able to swim around a little bit more in theory, right? In practice, it is going to take just more practice time to figure out some of these maps.
I will say there are two types of pickup scrims in +1 and +2. That is either going to the map list spot and picking a random map list from one of the people that have made them, or zones only. And zones only random. So you'll be playing on stuff like Port less because they're not going to be on the map list things. They're not going to be in map list for tournaments, but it's definitely still played in a lot of these zones only scrims. Like, I've had to play on my fair share of ports every now and then. It does happen, but you're definitely not going to have that same level of experience and, you know, awareness of where you want to position yourself and how you want to play.
Speaking of not having awareness, another map that doesn't come up as often, and that is 3 in a row, Goby Arena now. Which is one of the things where I think, especially in Inkstorm, is able to put out a lot more pressure than you might expect. So Zera's on that E leader here, and that E leader is well going to be able to hit shots to the opponent's snipe, which could be very disturbing depending on how exactly that matchup goes. Gator, of course, on the E leader as well. So one of those things is going to be to watch out for those duels and see who can hit more shots to kind of catch the opponent off guard.
Dura definitely won't be hitting any though, unfortunately. But this is going to be a 2v2 situation now. It's going to be Junior Elita and T-Tech Elita, but thanks to the Inkjet. Oh, very nice last shot from Jared, actually, taking out Domo there, and that will give full control over to Key to My Heart, and that's going to be a good situation for them early. Again, I feel like their comp can really lock out that Machine Carbon. Machine Carbon is definitely the sort of thing there where you want to get control early, you want to put pressure onto their plat and just be annoying, but you can't do that if you don't get control, and that's going to be Key to My Heart now. Going to be able to do a lot here. We're just going to wait for this engagement to play out.
Volti going to get taken down by Zera's here as well, and now big boy flank coming in from Jared once again. The Ingummer comes in at just the right time too. We're probably going to catch Gator off guard here. He is going to go down as well. Sorry, I was watching the overhead there a little bit more. Volti now coming up on the side here. But again, like, we have to start turning our attention more onto zone. 16 ticks the timer here left to go. Not enough ink to come on through. Really haven't seen a lot of anything. The Booyah Bomb here secure things once more for the green side. 2-down situation. The Inkstorm is going to be the last thing on the zone here, but just not enough ink, and Key to My Love is going to take the 3-0.
Yep, that was a dominant performance from Key to My Love. I think they clearly showed in, you know, their first set on stream today. I think they could be a contender to take it today. I mean, I don't think that they're likely to take it, but I think you could definitely put them in that contender spot along with Radiance, FT Win, and the 2JP teams. So I'm really, really excited to see more from them later on. That was a really strong first showing.
It was, right? And now we might be regretting my choice here to see them versus Radiance, to see them in an actual test. Which might actually be a good preview. But I am also excited to see first of all, which one of these two Japanese teams is better?
Yep.
And then how they're going to match up against FT Win. Because again, hey Sendo, I would not have rated FT Win as number 1 in this tournament. Just